Hey, what's up, everyone? In this video, we are going to be covering the latest version of MyListing that dropped yesterday, March 11th. This is version 2.11.8. We're going to run through the entire changelog together. I'm also going to show you how to update the theme the way that I prefer to do that. And then we're going to look at the MyListing help desk and just see what questions or issues are coming in related to this update so we can all make an educational decision together about whether to update or not in our live environment. Okay. I do recommend that the worst thing that you can do is just to blindly update the theme in your production environment. That's number one. Don't do that. The next worst thing that you can do is to do nothing and just wait to hear from everybody else what works and what doesn't, because every site's different. You've got different plugins, different servers, all that different stuff. The best thing that you can do is install the latest version right away into your staging environment, your testing environment, and see how it works with your website. Now, if you are working with a professional, like let's say that you are a client of the MyListing Club's website care service, then you can sit back and wait for me to test everything and then give the all clear. But we're also going to have an idea together at the end, by the end of this video, of do we think it's safe to try this out, in a live environment potentially. Of course, you always want to run a backup and stuff like that, but just don't go blindly installing the latest update on your site. I see that over and over and over again, and people wonder why things aren't working. You got to test stuff. Okay, so this is the changelog we're going to run through. Over on your ThemeForest account, themeforest.net/downloads, log in. Locate the MyListing theme as we see here on my screen. Click on this download button. Choose installable WordPress file only. Okay, and that's going to download a zip file to your workstation. So I'm going to show you now what to do with that. Okay, so over here in our dashboard, we click on the parent theme, and we see that we are at the previous version 2.11.7. We also see that we have a child theme in place and activated. I recommend you do that on every MyListing website, even if you never need it, just so you always have it in place. It doesn't slow down your site. Doesn't add any bloat to your site, anything like that. It just protects any customizations you make from being, to the theme, from being overwritten when you update the theme, which is what we're going to do here. The other thing is you don't need a special plugin to update themes. So you don't need I think it's called the Envato Market plugin just to keep your theme updated. You don't need it, but as I'm about to show you right here. Just get rid of that one extra plugin. Download the zip file to your workstation. Click Add New Theme here. Then you're going to click Upload Theme, choose the file, and then we're going to go to our downloads and we're going to install MyListing 2.11.8. Your zip file will be have like a much longer file name to it. I like to rename all of my zip files to the name of the version of the theme, and I save a copy. Every single copy version that comes out of the theme, I keep a copy of it. So I name them accordingly. So here we are updating from the previous version to the latest. So we just click Replace Active with Uploaded. There we go. That's it. Just that easy. Didn't need that extra plugin. Don't have to worry because we have the child theme installed. The club has a guide and a video that talks about the child theme and all of that. Okay. Super simple stuff. So now we're on the latest version. Let's go over to our theme tools and performance. And let's go to, if you have preview card caching enabled, I recommend you come over here and you just remove all existing cache and regenerate. Just clear all of that out. Once that runs, if you've got, hopefully you got caching on your server, whether it's Cloudflare, CDN, some other CDN, and then you got your server caching. Hopefully you're not using plugin caching. You don't really, if you're doing things the right way, you don't need a plugin to do your caching these days. But if you do, just make sure you clear your caching at every level. So Keystone makes it really easy. We just click clear caches, clear all caches, and it's going to clear every single level of caching. If you want to sign up for the club's Keystone hosting plan, we'd love to have you. It's just beautiful and simple to use. The next thing we want to do, in my case, you probably won't need to do this on your site, but we go to settings, permalinks, and just flush those permalinks. I need to do it here specifically because I am using a copy of the club's starter site, and I didn't do this before. I cloned the starter site, and I should have flushed the permalinks. I forgot to do that, so I'm going to do that here. Okay. we should be good to go. Here is, let's refresh, just see if we see anything wonky. Oh, everything looks good as far, at the outset, everything looks fine, but we need to look further at things. But again, from the outset, everything looks just fine. Okay, let's go through the changelog here. So the very first item is location block. Added option to display map as a static image. Okay, so let's go over to one of our listing types. Let's go into our expert listing type. Let's go into single page because again, we're talking about the output, right? So single page is where you output the data, where we display the data. We're going to go into our details area here because that's where our map is. So we find the location block. Here we go. Expand. We now have a drop-down option to choose static image. And this works with Google Maps and Mapbox. I prefer to work with Mapbox. I've got a guide on that if you want to check that out. And then you've got the option to enable high resolution retina map image. Obviously, the image is going to add a little bit of load to your website because it's an image, right? So it's just one more image on your site. Not the end of the world, especially if you optimize it, that sort of thing. There is a note here. This increases API usage. I wish they would elaborate on that and at least give you the people that may not be watching this video a link to check that out. But I will tell you that in that map services guide, one of the reasons I recommend Mapbox, other than I just think it's far superior, is it allows for more API usage under their free plan. So what that means is the chances of you needing to pay for map services is far greater under Google Maps than it is Mapbox. You're going to hit those limits on Google Maps faster than you are on Mapbox. Okay. So I'll let you guys research what this is. I'm going to do that actually on my own too. I need to go and look and see what that is all about. You can just do a quick Google search for, we can do this together just real quick. So Mapbox static image API. I already peeked at this a little bit, but you'll want to look at this and see what it's all about, how to set it up. I'm going to do it myself, but just know that feature is now in there. Okay. And you figure out the pros and cons of why you would want that in there and why you wouldn't. Okay, so let's continue on. Added Threads and Blue Sky as sharing options. Okay, so I wish they would have said this, but we're going to assume this is listing sharing options. So let's go under our listing, our dashboard, under theme tools and theme options. And here we go. So now we do see under the share modal options here, we see the options for Blue Sky and Threads. So let's go ahead and tick those on, click update. And let's jump over to our site. Let's go to a listing. And let's go here. Let's see. Because I cloned the site, some of these URLs need to be rewritten. So let's go here and here. We'll go directly to one of these. So let's go to this one. There we go. Okay, so now let's click on the share quick action. And here in our modal, we still do not see Threads. So we ticked on Threads in Blue Sky. We updated. We went to our listing here, and we do not see this. Okay. So that's a couple of things. It could be caching of some sort. So let's go, and I have seen this a few times. You need to go to performance, and once you tick something on like that, run through and wipe out all of those preview card caching again. Despite it saying preview cards, it actually clears the cache for single listings as well. So let's go here, select all listing types, remove our cache and regenerate it again. Okay, let's go back over here and do a refresh. All right, so that is now cleared. Let's click on share, and nope, still not there. We can try the caching of our site again and see. I think I have caching turned off, but we'll see. We'll clear it anyway. All right, let's try it again. Still not in there. Kind of running out of ideas here. Let's try this. Let's go theme options, share modal. Let's untick Facebook on here. Just see if that even that works. Okay, so we unticked Facebook. Let's click share, and that is gone. Okay, so that tells us that it is something with that new feature, I believe. Let's toggle that back on. Let's update. Let's go down to our code. So I use WP Codebox for all custom code, and I'm just going to make sure I don't have anything in here for just do a search for blue sky, and then threads. Yeah, nothing is in any of those code snippets that would be causing that. Let me check the help desk. This is why we got this pulled up. So let me read through this real quick. All right, someone says they have a couple problems. I'm going to click into this. Okay, all right. Let's see if they mention this. Op one when the news. Okay, I'm not seeing anybody report this issue, so this might be something that we need to report. Let's try it one more time. Theme options, share modal. Let's try just ticking on threads. Let's clear our cache just to be sure. Yep. I am not seeing that that's working. Could always be something that I'm doing, but we saw that when I unticked Facebook that setting took hold. So I'm not sure there. That appears to be a bug. Okay, let's move on. Add a new user notification for expired listings. Okay, so for that, let's go to listings, settings, and we'll just do a search for the word expired. Okay. So they're saying added a new user notification for expired listings. All right, so here we go. Send an email to the user whenever one or more of their listings have expired. Okay, was that not in there before? I'm going to pull up Canvas on my other screen here, which has not been updated to the latest version of MyListing. We're just going to do a compare. So I'm going to go over there. I'm going to the same place, listings, settings, and let's do a comparison. Do a search for the word expired. Yeah. All right. So that is confirmed that this is, let's close some of this down. This is a new setting right here. Notify users of expired listings. So that's cool. And that's enabled by default, which is good. Okay. Next option, added share meta tags to the author's single page for improved social media sharing. Okay. So that is if you are using, let's go here and let's go to templates. I do not recommend you use the default author page template from MyListing, but just in case you are adamant about doing so, then let's see how that would look. So let's take the custom author template from my starter sites, and I'm going to show you the difference here. So let's go to users. For privacy reasons, give me 1 second here. I need to clear out some people that had tested Canvas. Again, this is a clone of the Canvas starter site from the club. So there's some things I hadn't cleared out yet. Let me do that real quick. Okay, here we go. So these are the users. And let's click on My Listing Club and click View. This is going to give us our author page. This is the author page you're going to get by default with my listing. Now, the caveat here is this design is custom from me. This is the CSS that I've applied to the starter site. Your default author pages are not going to look this good. Like, I'm just going to tell you straight up, they're not. I can show you actually what they're going to look like. So I'm going to go to the MyListing, one of the MyListing demos. There we go. Let's go here to the main demo. Let's go to one of the listings and let's click on one that's got an author. Let's go into here. There we go. Click on this author right here, this author block. You see that? They do not look the same. That versus that. It's quite a bit different. The preview cards are they're stacked weird. They don't look as good. All that type of thing. It doesn't match the branding. There's just a lot of reasons why I don't like using the default one. And plus you're limited to whatever my listing gives you. Here with mine, you have the full, which I'll show you actually here in a second. You'll have the full capability of Elementor behind you. I just dropped a video on this the other day about how you can dynamically populate this stuff. But they're saying here, added share meta tags to the author page for improved social sharing. Okay. Where is that at? Okay, I'm not exactly sure what they're referring to here. Added share meta tags to the, okay. I'm not really sure what they're referring to. Okay, anyway, so this is the before, and then I'm gonna show you the after. Let's put my template back on here. This is a little sidebar, but I really want you guys to use custom author page templates. You can build these yourself with Elementor Pro. I'm just saying that I've already built these for you. So let's go ahead and refresh this. There you go. 100% custom, dynamic. You can pull in the listings, as you can see here, the posts, whatever you want, you can pull into here. And recently in a recent video, I showed how to pull in any kind of data from any of the fields of a listing type into an author page. So little sidebar there. All right, let's go on. Tweak, load listing cover image using the image tag instead of the background image. So this is useful to improve LCP, which thank you, MyListing guys, for giving a little bit more information than you typically do. But if you've ever ran your website against a performance optimization testing tool and you see the LCP issues mentioned in there, which is part of Core Web Vitals, which is important to pass LCP, then this is a nice tweak that they've added. So there's nothing for me really to show you there on that one. All right, another tweak. The arrows that show for horizontal scroll are now clickable in basic search, e.g. basic search form. This improves UX on mobile devices. Arrows that show for horizontal scroll are now clickable. Okay, I didn't know that there was. Oh, I see. Okay. How can I show you guys this one? Let's go to the MyListing demo, and maybe I can just show you what they're talking about. We may have to try to replicate this here. No, I can't show. Well, yeah, I can. I can show you this on mobile. So here's the demo site, right? So they're talking about this area right here. If I was to have a ton of listing types across the top here, you'd have to scroll to see them, right? So I'm going to go ahead and go into mobile view. There we go. So see this arrow right here? So they're now saying that this is the arrows that show horizontal scroll are now clickable. So before they were just drag. There we go. So you can now click those. Cool. Okay, moving on. Added option to display rating on compare modal and made listing title clickable. Okay. So we need to go compare some listings. So let's go to our listings. And let's look at some experts. Let's compare them. So if you're not familiar, you click the little plus symbol here, plus symbol there. This brings up the compare items. Click that. So these are now links where they weren't before. It used to just be text. So now you can click on that. If I click on that, it takes you to the actual listing. So that is good. The other piece is they said display rating on the compare modal. Okay. So you see how these experts have a rating. So what if we wanted to display that in the compare, whereas you couldn't before? So let's go to our listing types. Let's go into experts. Let's go into, I haven't done this in a minute. Blanking on, I don't know where we go for this. Where is the compare? Where is the compare? I think it's on. Oh my gosh, I am completely brain farting this. I haven't set the compare thing up in a minute. Oh yeah, I know where it is. Okay, listing type. My bad. Okay, so let's go find our. Well, okay, that's probably why I'm brain farting is because there's no ratings. Okay, so we got to go to reviews. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's why I was brain farting it. Okay, so edit your listing type. Go to the general section, go to reviews, scroll down. You now have this show rating and compare model. Sorry about that. All right, let's update that. Let's refresh our experts. Let's compare these two, compare. There we go. So now it drops the rating in there. So that is a nice new feature. Okay, let's move on. Lightbox. Added the option to close on scroll. Can I show you Lightbox anywhere? So this is the MyListing demo, the main demo. Where could I? Let's go into a listing gallery. There we go. Let's go to the gallery. So let's open this experts listing. Let's go to their media tab. Let's go to gallery here. So let's click on this, and they're saying Lightbox added option to close on scroll. Close on scroll. Oh, there we go. Okay. So all I did with my mouse is just scroll down with my mouse, and it went or even up, and then that's when it goes away. That's cool. So before you could escape out. Now you can go into an image and scroll down or just scroll and it goes away. Okay, next up is we have a lot of fixes, and that's what I really like to see. There's a lot of things that we need to just kind of pause. In my opinion, I said this recently. If I owned my listing, I would pause all new development and I would just fix everything that needs fixing. Unfortunately, they haven't fixed a lot of the things I've asked for, but they fixed one thing I've asked for, which is hugely important. We'll get to that here in a second. But the first fix here is delay translation loading to prevent load _ text domain _ just in time warning. Okay, so that they fixed that. I don't even know how to show you that, so we'll skip that one. Just know that it's good they fixed it. Fix claim listing file field not being saved correctly. So if you are in your listing type and you go to general and then claim form, and let's say you have this file upload field, they're saying that before that file field was not being saved correctly. So I'm guessing that if you upload a file in some instances, or maybe all, it just wasn't saving the file, whatever that file was that you uploaded. Okay, that's cool. So let's do the next one. Fix claim listing form. Claim listing form reCAPTCHA not working. First off, don't use reCAPTCHA. I wish they would just get rid of this. There's much better options. So where is claim form reCAPTCHA not working? So reCAPTCHA with MyListing is configured. Where do they have that thing buried? Is it under other, or is it under listings and settings? Maybe I don't ever use it anymore. Like it's just you shouldn't use it. There we go. So do your own research, guys. Research Google reCAPTCHA. read all about why it's bad. If you don't believe me, just read all about it. You shouldn't be using this. You should be using Cloudflare Turnstile. It's free. If you go use Cloudflare, you should be using Cloudflare anyway. It's also free. Use Cloudflare. Use that CDN. Then implement a plugin called Simple Cloudflare Turnstile, which is also free. That's going to fix almost all of your spam problems. You don't need to go and configure this. You're going to be able to use that Cloudflare Turnstile in tons more places than you can here. You can use it in Elementor, WooCommerce. You can use it anywhere you want on your website. Get away from using this reCAPTCHA. I don't know why this is even in here anymore. If you don't believe me, like I said, go research it yourself. But that's what they're saying here, is that they've spent time fixing the stupid reCAPTCHA not working. And it's not surprising that it wasn't working. So that's my recommendation. Stop using reCAPTCHA. Go use the stack I told you to use. All right, fix tooltips not closing on backend. This is the one that I asked for specifically. It was driving me absolutely crazy. And they should have fixed it immediately, but they waited a very long time for some reason. But if you go in here and you've got something with a tooltip, I'm trying to think of where to show you. Where can I show you? Maybe products. If we add a product. Anywhere, yeah, these tooltips right here were not going away. For example, they were just staying on the screen, and it made it very, very difficult. So if you were doing like configuring a listing type, I'm trying to think where it was really bothering me and really getting in the way. Totally blanking on it now. But anyway, I can show you that right here in the product as just one of the examples. So imagine you're going through and you're configuring this stuff, and like these tooltips would not go away. They would just stay up on the screen. There's tooltips everywhere. And it's really, really frustrating when you can't close them. If I think about it, I'll come back to it. If there was an area specifically that it was really, really getting in my way, all these tooltips right here, issues after issues after issues, but that's now clearly fixed. So that's good. Okay, next up, password strength not working on forget password page. Like, this is one of those things, again, guys, I have never recommended people use password strength meters. It adds, I've done a guide on it and stuff. It adds extra complexity to your site that you don't need, an extra performance hit and all of that. All you need to do, guys, and I've ran multiple businesses for many years this way, so I know it works and it works fine. Just go to WooCommerce, settings, accounts and privacy. All you need to do is check both of these boxes. Automatically set a password and automatically use their email address as login, and call it a freaking day. Don't get into password strength meters. Just get away from it. If people want to change their password after the fact, they can do that. You don't need this. It's a thing of the past. It's old school. But again, I hate that they're working on that stuff when they could have fixed other things. Like, there's some accessibility issues. It drives me absolutely crazy. Way more important things to work on. Fix admin dashboard stats box. Again, okay. Admin dashboard stats boxes style. Okay, let's go here. Theme tools, listing stats. Okay, what did they give us here? I'm not seeing anything in here that has to do with styles. Is the word style starting to get a little frustrated? As you can tell, there's just things that I feel like they need to work on before this. Admin dashboard stats boxes style. Okay, so it's not that. Is it in the actual dashboard area? I turn all that stuff off anyway, but okay, screen options, listing stats. Is this what they're referring to? And if so, what are we supposed to be looking for? Give us a screenshot. Give us something. I don't know what the heck they're referring to here. All right, let's compare this to Canvas, which has not been updated yet. So let's go to the dashboard. Let's turn on some of these options. Let's do that and that. They look the same to me. Looks the exact same to me. So I'm not sure what they're referring to. Anyway, I hide all that stuff anyway. That's just me. You should be using true analytics platforms for all of this stuff anyway, rather than relying on what MyListing is giving you here. Obviously we need stats in a lot of cases for your listing owners to be able to see those in their dashboard. But as far as like having it here in this dashboard, you should, as the website owner, be relying on your own analytics solutions, not what MyListing gives you. Okay, let's move on. I don't understand what that one is. Again, they should give you a screenshot, a link to an example, something to know what the heck we're looking for. Fix, remove required from text area field when saving listings as a draft. All right, so if you go and you have a listing type, and let's say you have a text area field, come over here. Let's do a search for text area, see if I have anything. Okay, go here. That's not a text area. Here, let's just add one. So scroll over here, and on the right, we see text area. We're going to add that field. So they're saying there's no real difference on what you configure here. We see that it's not required, but I'm assuming that even though that was set to not required, that when you went to save a listing as a draft, it still acted like it was a requirement regardless. So I think that's what they're saying. That's a good fix. Okay, fix jQuery compatibility issues. I can't show you what that is, but I'm glad they fixed it. Next up is upcoming dates block format fix. I can't show you that either. That would take too much time. Glad they fixed it. Fix upcoming dates instance using the wrong time zone. Okay, another one, not going to show you. Glad they fixed it. Next up is another fix, general repeater box, link button showing even when you don't add a link. Okay, so for that one, let's say if I edit this listing, we come down here to their store right here. So they are saying, because this is all general repeater fields right here, they're saying that a link would show, let's go back. General repeater box, link button showing even if you don't add a link. So even if you come down in here and you don't add a link, say right here, let's go back to the front end of our listing. They're saying if you then go into, this would be that item right there, that if I didn't add a link, it would still show a button regardless. Right here, link button showing even when you don't add a link. So they fixed that. Okay. Next up is another fix, repeater block, show zero price. Ooh, this is actually, I take that back. This was one of my other requests. So thank you guys for doing this one. Before, you couldn't just have zero here in the price. So let's go test this out. Okay, let me do this from the back end. That way we get around having to fill out this entire damn form. All right, so I'm going to do, what is this? Here we go. So let me go just do this in the back end. Here we go. Okay, we're going to go down to her first offer. We're going to set it to 0, and we are going to save. Refresh. Now it's $25. I want it to just say 0. $0, that is, right? Because it's free. Okay, that's cool. And then you could use like local translate or whatever if you want to set that to actually say free. But before, it wouldn't allow you to do that. Okay, so that is cool. Thanks, guys, for doing that one. Translations, days and work hours, validation message. Okay, so if you use local translate, you could let's go back here. Translations, days and work hours, validation message. So I'm not sure what the fix is. Are they saying they fixed it so you can now address it in Loco Translate, or it's just fixed by default? I'm not sure exactly what they're saying there. But just to give you an example, if you're not familiar, you can go here, go to Loco Translate, do a search for, go into the actual theme. So choose the MyListing theme, choose whatever language it is that you're using for your site, plop in work hours into this search field, and you can adjust the words here to say whatever it is that you want it to say. So I'm not exactly sure what they're saying here, but we'll go ahead and move on. Fix front end dashboard, publish, unpublished, not working for admin. Okay. Front end dashboard. So let's go to the front end dashboard. Let's go to our listings. So are they saying, I think they're saying this is what wasn't working before. So whether, if I unpublish this, it's going to set it to publish, right? Publish. So they were saying, I'm assuming those weren't working correctly. So that's a pretty big fix then. Okay. Well, it's for the admin though. Okay. Either way, not a huge fix. That would be more of a major fix if it was for the actual user, the author of the listing, because the admin could always go into the back end. Anyway, it's a fix. Again, we have another reCAPTCHA. Don't use reCAPTCHA. Glad they fixed it, I guess. I wish they wouldn't work on that and just get rid of it altogether and give people guidance on using Cloudflare Turnstile as an alternative. Moving on, duplicate listings, reoccurring date fix. So if you have a listing that is like, say, an event, and you go here and you click duplicate to duplicate your listing for an event, they're saying they fixed an issue where when you did that, the reoccurring date had an issue. Okay, not sure what that is. That would take a bit of time to show you, but just know that if you have event listings and you're duplicating them, that is something that you might want to look at. Okay, guys. Big update as far as fixes, which is what I was really hoping to see. I do wish, and if you're watching this and you want to relay it to any of the MyListing guys and just vote on it, or if you happen to be watching this 27 Collective, don't wait. What is this? September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Do not wait, please. 6 months to do fixes. Fixes should come out much faster. You don't have to wait for big updates. That causes other potential issues, which we won't get into in this video. But this stuff could have been fixed in minor releases in a much faster cadence and would have helped a lot of people. Okay, so that is that. Let's look, like I said, at the support board, and then I'll get you guys out of here. For privacy reasons, I'm not going to show you the entries in the help desk, but I'm going to read through them real quick here. Okay, so I just went and I did a search for the word update. Okay, and I'm just going to see. We've got one here that says a couple of problems. When a new listing is submitted, I sometimes get 3 emails instead of 1, sometimes only 1 email correctly. So if you're experiencing that, maybe we want to check that out. I've never experienced that. If you create a listing in the front end and click on preview, everything is displayed like, you know what, this is gonna be too much. I'm gonna balk on this. You guys can go to the help desk. This is gonna take too long. But I did. Let's see. So the update just came out yesterday, and I did a search for the word update in the help desk, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits going back to when this was released. So what I recommend is going into the help desk and just reading up on what they're saying. There's some mentions of potential mobile issues. I'm not saying these are actual issues. A lot of times these are just user error or specific issues with their particular websites and not with MyListing at all. So that's why I recommend you go and check this out for yourself. I'm seeing some mentions about mobile, lost previous configuration. Again, that could come from not having a child theme in place, like I said, and following best practices. They probably went and just updated their live site, didn't take a backup, all those things you're not supposed to do. So it's probably not even a MyListing issue. There's another one that says breaks the search bar on the home page and explore page. Select range button is not working, and a couple. So go check it out for yourself. Helpdesk.27collective.net. Get in there and see what's going on, or go to their Facebook group and see if people are talking about stuff. I'm not in that group, so I can't tell you. There we go, guys. MyListing 2.11.8 dropped yesterday. Check it out.